Manberg. This is our Manberg. We train, we learn, we gather what we need. We stumble and we tweak, we repair, we repeat. Pogtopia spirit can't be beat. And even as the fires rage and Manberg takes a stand, Schlatt attacks, dream at his command. The trick is in believing in ourselves, in our men. And again, it's a battle of wills, it's a battle of fire, it's a battle of strength and your heart's desire. Get ready for the fight, sharpen your sword. This is ours, this is ours. Ready, aim, fire, take the shot. Make one last jab, kick it up a notch. This is our fight, this is our war, our chance to reclaim what's ours. This is our Manberg, this is our Manberg, this is our Manberg, our Manberg. I see history repeat, a revolution waged by men who have no idea where they stand. It's gonna be a blowout, it's gonna be a bore. Giving Schlatt a chance isn't too much of a chore. So together right here, together right there, and things just seem a little more fair. It's a battle of wills, it's a battle of fire, it's a battle of strength and your heart's desire. Get ready for the fight, the clashing of swords. This is ours, this is ours. Ready, aim, fire, take the shot. Make one last jab, kick it up a notch. This is our fight, this is our war, our chance to reclaim what's ours. This is our Manberg, this is our Manberg, this is our Manberg, our Manberg. Ready, this is our Manberg. One last jab, it all get Manberg. This is our Manberg, our chance to reclaim our Manberg. Ready, this is our All right. Finally I have that fixed. Okay, cool. This should be working now. Hello, everyone. I don't know how many of you there are, but it's cool to be able to do this. Haven't been able to do this yet, so you'll have to bear with me. There's actually stuff that does have to change, surprisingly enough. But it's really exciting to be here. So hang on. Let me. This is funky. Why is this so weird? Okay, that's why it's looking weird to me. Okay, so today I'm working on a song. It is not your usual song, or at least not a usual song on my end of things. It's called, at the moment, Settle. And it's not a Dream SMP song, surprisingly. It is a song that is entirely my own. It's my own story. I wrote it at the beginning of the summer, and I haven't really stopped ever since. So, without further ado, wait, hang on, why is that so? There we go. Fixing that. That was an extraneous track. Yeah, I'm just gonna be mixing and mastering, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. And let me know if you can't hear anything. I've been bent and worn, broken and bruised, told to quiet down and to see the mission through, but I am just too tired of waiting for my wishes to come true. I've sat inside my room, marking up the walls, a silent tally of my life like a Neanderthal. But I'm done waiting for a hero to come and save me from this hell, 'cause fairy tales unreal and I don't got a wishing well. And that's the thing about wishes, they're just another avenue to put off actually doing something about this world I'm walking through. Or am I really even walking, or am I stumbling and sleep talking? 'Cause the words keep falling out and I just wanna scream and shout. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl. And all the faces of conflict. You can walk all over me so long as everyone is happy. And I can pretend I'm free, cause that's the way I tend to live, pretending everything is fine. But honestly, I'm just so scared I'm fucking up my life. And that's the funny part about all this. In writing down the song, it's like I'm finally being honest when I feel like it's all wrong. And I just want to throw my laptop out and give up on this track. But when I try, it's like the words keep pulling me right back. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl. And all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. You can hold me now, cause I am just too proud. I've been a nowhere kid, I've been soft for too long. Somewhere in the burning walls of the streets that I talk. Just surrounded on the corner, too afraid to speak out. But here I am and I'm not learning, so it's time to strike that. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl. And all the faces in the crowd tell me to scream and get loud, cause I am not the only one who's ready to speak out. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl. And all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. You can hold me now, cause I am just too proud to settle. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. I actually have to do a couple of re-records because I need to do re-records. I have a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, mostly because I was completely out of a voice when I was recording them. So I have to redo middle section right here and the back last chorus, I think. So let's see if this works. I hope it works. We had an issue with this last time. Hoping it's not gonna happen again. Scream and get loud, cause I am not the only one who's ready to speak out. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl. And all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. You can't hold me now, cause I am just too proud to settle. That's really loud. Okay, why is that picking up more gain than it usually does? Because it shouldn't be picking up that much gain. What's going on? Okay. That's funky sounding. Let's hope that that doesn't do that again. Let's try that again. And masquerades telling me to crawl, and all the faces in the crowd tell me to scream and get loud, cause I am not the only one. So what's going on here that's causing the microphone to pick up? What is it picking up? Crowd tell me to scream and get loud, cause I am not the only one who's ready to speak out. Standing on my own. Keep screaming and get loud, cause I am not the. Oh, jeez. I know what that is. That's fun. Okay. So Logic has this really stupid thing that it does. It drives me crazy. I don't know how to fix it. Standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl. And all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. You can hold me now, cause I am just too proud. That's like the most annoying thing. Okay, what's going on here though? What's bothering me? Scream and get loud, cause I am not the only one who's ready to speak out. Standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl. Is it picking up? Faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. You can hold me now, cause I am just too proud. I think I know what it is. That's interesting. How do I fix that? Speak out. Standing on my own. That's funny. So it's recording my audio. And I don't know how that happened. Hang on. Logic Pro preferences, audio, input device, switch that to Yeti, apply. That should fix that issue. Oh, that's gonna get really annoying really quickly. Oh, that's really gonna get annoying really quickly. I'm listening to the same note over and over and over again. Okay. This is not good. I'm gonna be stuck listening to that for a hot minute. I'm not excited. But, whatever. It's gonna be what it'll be. At least it's a nice chord. It's an A flat. Oh well, this is gonna be fun. I don't like having to deal with this part of doing all of this. Hang on. You know what I'm gonna do? I am going to... I'll be right back. I'm still gonna be here. I'm still talking for a hot minute. Don't worry. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my audio, because my audio has decided that it doesn't like me today. Growing pains. It's been a while since I've done a stream. And by a while, I mean I haven't done a stream since like May or June, when I first got my computer. So it's gonna be a hot second. Essentially what we're waiting for is my sound preferences to get fixed. So what happened was my audio went into my aggregate device, which is fine. Macs are wackadoodle in that you can't actually record audio on them, at least not through the display. Now, the issue that was causing was that the input was going... So, there's an input and an output device on every computer, if you don't know. And the input that I've been using is my Yeti stereo microphone, which is awesome, but for some reason my logic decided that my input device needs to be the aggregate device. Which, the aggregate device is a series of devices that I actually have to go through. It's like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 hoops that I have to jump through in order to actually put together what I need to put together, and it's really frustrating. Like, really frustrating. And so it takes me a hot second to get that done. It's not something I like doing, it's not something I like having to play with. But anyways, so the input device was essentially also picking up my computer, so I would try to go and record, and it would pick up not only my voice, which I wanted to pick up my voice, hello, want to make sure you guys can hear me, but it was also picking up the noise from my computer, so the entire song, it was picking up at the same time, all the instruments, everything else, which was obviously causing an overload, because Settle is a very high song, which means that I have to be more than a little loud when I'm singing it. So I'll keep standing on my own time. So that's about a C. Which is fun. I am trashy, L. Love it. But yeah, so that's kind of the whole gist of what I'm looking at. Yeah, so I don't know how far behind the YouTube thing is, or how far ahead the YouTube thing is. It kind of scares me a little bit. Hey Ferno, you'll never guess where I am right now. I'm betting you're in college. You amazing human. I'm so proud of you, Elle. Yay, so proud. Okay. I would like my computer to stop taking forever. Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Think a little further behind me, unless you're also staring at the rainbow pinwheel of death. Yeah. this is such a scuffed stream. We love scuffed streams, but it's good that I'm doing this before the 100K mark that I promised to do this at. So now we can get all the kinks out of it before everybody else has to see all the kinks. Because there's hopefully not as many. Yeah, this has been great so far. Sorry, guys. I really am sorry. I feel terrible. This was not supposed to be so scuffed, and yet it is scuffed. And now I'm sitting here listening to I'm listening to a major chord. I'm pretty sure this is A major second inversion? I forget what I wrote, funnily enough, but I'm pretty sure this is on the bottom. I don't know. Pretty sure it's A flat major second inversion. Which inversions, that's a cool thing. I'm just gonna decline this call really fast. My mother just decided to call me. I think she's calling to make fun of me for screwing up. My mother wouldn't actually do that, I'm joking. We were on the phone earlier and she had to go because she was getting herself pampered tonight time. Thank you, I appreciate that. You know, it's actually really funny. I am like the most weird about my voice. I have thoughts about my voice, and a lot of them stem from insecurity. I really don't like my voice. I think it's too high-pitched. High in timbre. I've been told before that, like, if I ever wanted to be, like, a professional singer, I'd never make it, which I agree. Which is why I'm a music educator. But, yeah. It was really funny. I got accepted into the college that I got accepted to, and I was recruited for music. And I was talking to one of the parents at my high school about the program that I'm doing, and I'm doing this really cool, really special program. I love it. It's an awesome program. I love working on it. I love doing everything with it. I get some really great opportunities. But I had one of the parents say, "Oh, so like, did you have to like go and audition to get into this, or did you have to request to get in?" And blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, no, I was actually recruited for it. I didn't even know it existed when I applied." And the mom went, "Oh, really? So you're a recruited music student? I just didn't think you were good enough for that." And I went, "Thank you." I don't know, it's funny. The reason why I'm remembering that today is because she actually lost her battle to cancer this morning. So, I don't know. I've been talking with the kid whose parent she is, and it's just one of those things. Like, you don't like to think about those kinds of things, and about mortality. And that's really dark to bring on stream. I'm sorry. I don't know, it's just a funny thing. And it reminded me of that conversation where she was like, "Oh, I just didn't think you were good enough to be a music student and to have a college actually like want you." But bye, Dragon. Have fun. You're gonna love it, I hope. Dragon is one of my mods, one of my most awesome human beings. Dragon also does all of the editing for my videos. So anytime you see Dragon around, know that they're pretty poggers. They did Ballad of the Lonely. They did all of the craziness for Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me. And when I say that they are incredible, I say that they're incredible. They're working on a couple of things for me right now. A couple of things that I'm really excited to be showing you guys. So I hope that starts happening soon. So if you ever see Dragon around, give them a shout out, say hi. They're pretty poggers. As for, oh my god, I'm still staring at the rainbow pinwheel of doom. People from my Twitch will know, I've never streamed on YouTube before. I usually stream on Twitch. But people from Twitch will remember the rainbow spinny wheel of doom. If you don't know, Mac OS does this little like twirly thing. Like it's like the blue circle cursor on Windows, but I guess Apple had to be prideful or something. Like, by the way, I'm a lesbian, so like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think it's funny. And so, oh yes, thank gosh. Okay, no, wait, and now we're back to the purple spin or the rainbow spinny of doom. It was gone and now it's back again. So, but anyways, so yes, it does like this little like spinny like rainbowy thing. And I call it the rainbow pinwheel of doom because anytime it shows up, it takes forever to go away when logic is concerned. And by logic, I mean the DAW. I don't mean like actual logic. I'm not Spock. Ah, okay. Finally, I can get back to it. Okay, hang on. Main. And we're back! We're back and better than ever, and this should fix the issue. If it doesn't, I'm gonna cry. Scream and get loud, cause I am not the only speak out. Standing on my own show. And it fixed the issue. I am amazing. Actually, I'm not amazing, I'm just me, but... why did you do that to me? Standing on my own show, rebellion of the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl, and all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. You can't hold me now, cause I am just too proud to settle. Awesome, okay. Faces in the crowd tell me to scream and get loud, cause I am not the only one who's ready to speak out. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl, and all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. But you can't hold me now, cause I am just too proud to settle. And I think that clipped, so I'm gonna have to do that again. Welcome to the crazy. I'm gonna skip back. Cause I am not the only one who's ready to speak out. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl, and all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud. But you can't hold me now, cause I am just too proud to settle. And how's that sound? I am not the only one who's ready to speak out. So I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls. I forgot. There's that issue. There's the latency issue. I forgot. It's been a hot second since I've done this. And you can tell. I forgot about the latency issue. So maybe no re-records for right now, and I'll have to re-record later. Or one day I'll figure out how other people do it. Processing threads, automatic. This will be a lot easier when process buffer range. Needs to be a smaller process buffer range. Either way, I'm not gonna fix that right now because then we'll get another spinny pinwheel of doom, and nobody wants another spinny pinwheel of doom. And guess what? I'm looking at a spinny pinwheel of doom right now. This is so scuffed. I'm sorry, guys. I feel terrible. Oh, bye, Scythe. Yeah, no, Spinny Pinwheel of Doom, it loves me. It loves showing up in my streams and ruining everything. But yeah, so Spinny Pinwheels of Doom. Anyways, so you might be wondering why certain things sound a little bit more thready vocally, in this song, and that's because I have been in choir for the past 3 or 4 days. Classes haven't officially started for us yet. Some of them have, but for the most part, none of our classes have actually like started. I've got homework for a few, and I had a meeting this morning for one of them. I had to leave a D&D session last night kind of early because of it. But we have choir 3-4 days before school starts. It starts with a midnight rehearsal, and then we just keep going. And the reason why we do that is because we sing at like this big opener for the school. It's like this, it's called Convocation. And all the freshmen are required to come. All the seniors are expected to come, but they don't have to. Generally, you'll get like half the senior class. We all love you. The Rainbow Wheel of Doom is probably just a fan. Yeah, I wish. But yeah, so
that's a whole other issue. But yeah, so we're singing at convocation, which means that I have been stuck in rehearsals for the past 4 or 5 days now. And I'm singing alto in choir, and I shouldn't be singing alto in choir. And I hate the fact that I'm not supposed to be singing alto in choir. I want to be singing alto in choir, just because that's where I've been for the past. How long has it been? 4 years? 3 years? It's been 3 years. This is my fourth year of college. I voices shift over time. If you didn't know, like you've got the usual like, oh, I'm growing, so my voice is growing with me. So you've got the men's break or the AMABs break, and the AFABs actually do have their own form of vocal puberty. Theirs starts earlier and lasts longer. So AMABs will start generally around the age of 14, 15, 16. AFAB women, or AFABs, so that's women, that's people who are born female, assigned female at birth, essentially AFABs, begin their vocal development at they begin their vocal puberty anyway at the age of 12. So you start at 12 and then you keep going. And it gets worse over time. No, it's not that it gets worse over time. It's you start at 12 and then you get to hey Bo, hi. You start at 12 and then when you get to about 15 is when you're about the middle of it, and your voice finally settles when you hit 16, 17, 18. But for anyone who's an AFAB and it was like, oh, when I was 12, it was really weird singing in certain areas, and whenever I was singing low, my voice would get really breathy. That's because you were going through puberty. The AMAB voice gets a lot more notoriety in that regard, because that's when you get the hoarseness and the squeakiness, and you can really only sing one octave, and it really sucks. So AMABs have like that range, and then the AFABs have their own version. It's just not as pronounced. So the AMABs get all the credit, essentially. But even past those major puberty points, your voice still shifts over time. It's like a sine wave. If you've ever taken calculus, you will know sine waves. By the way, they suck. I hate them. I hate calculus too. I haven't taken calculus since I was a freshman in college, and I never want to take it again. But a sine wave is like a little loop-de-loop. It goes like a roller coaster. Cammy, I would like to point out that you're a math major. And so the roller coaster kind of swoops up and down and up and down, and it's awesome. But the thing about the roller coaster is that at times your voice will shift upwards, and at times your voice will shift down along with the roller coaster. So I started my college career on the downswing. I was going down towards the bottom of the parabola, which is a fancy math term for an arc. So I was heading down that way. Sometime around my sophomore year, beginning of my junior year, I hit the bottom of it and I started an upswing. Over the summer, it went higher. Fun fact, I originally wrote Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me in February. I could sing it in the original key that I wrote it in. Issue. When it came time to actually sit down and record Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me, I actually had to take it up a whole step. It wasn't even a half step, it was a whole step. I had to take it up a whole step, so I basically wrote the song in B. I think it was B minor. I wrote the song in B minor, and I had to take it all the way up to A minor, which is actually really big in a song like Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me, because Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me is about an octave and a third for a song. That's a really wide range for a song. Generally, songs are about an octave. Maybe they'll go up to an octave. Maybe they'll go up to about a tenth, which is an octave plus 2. I took it to an octave plus 4, which is a 12th. That's pretty big. That's a larger range. The average human being has about an octave singing range. a trained singer will have about an octave and a half to 2 octaves. A singer who's singing all the time, who's doing what I'm doing, like music major level singing, they'll have about 3, maybe 3.5 if they're really, really lucky. Some of the best sopranos out there can sing up to like 3.5 octaves. I can sing comfortably about 3.25. Can't go much higher. But I can go pretty high. I just choose not to because I don't like how I sound up there, and a lot of people agree with me. I sound kind of shrieky. It's not the rich part of my voice. I can sing it, but it's not the right note for me. My sweet spot tends to be in the E5 to G5 range if I'm going to be singing soprano, which is about where my senior recital is taking me. But where was I even going? Oh yeah, so Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me is actually an incredibly diverse, not diverse, but like it's an incredibly range heavy song. So originally when I wrote it, no, I didn't even write it in B minor. I wrote it in G minor. What was I thinking? I wrote it in G minor. So the bottom note for it was broken bottles, broken windows, which I can sing. It just doesn't sound good. It sounds like I'm bottoming out. So it's broken bottles, broken windows, empty rooms, empty photo frames. Like, you can hear how that's wrong, right? So then, as I was going through the recording process, I was like, I'm bottoming out on all of these notes. So I actually had to take it up, and that was my first clue. I was like, crap. I wrote this back in February, and now I'm having issues. This isn't an isolated incident, is it? And then I went back and I listened and I looked, and I was like, no, it's not an isolated incident. And I literally had a crisis of confidence the other day, which was really funny. Because, gosh, can you stop with the spinny wheel of doom? Sorry, I'm yelling at my computer. What was I saying? Yeah. So I haven't exactly made it a secret that I'm doing this. I am recording a cover of Woe to the People of Order. I am breaking my no covers rule for one time only. This is the only time that you're gonna get of me actually choosing to do a cover. So congratulations. Amphi is smiling because Amphi is doing the art for Woe to the People of Order, by the way. I'll figure out how to turn those off. Sorry, Amphi. But yes, I am doing Woe to the People of Order. But I had this massive crisis because I've been singing this song for 2 years now. Because I actually do really like it. It's what inspired Ballad. It's part of the reason why I wrote Ballad. Actually, no, it's not part of the reason why I wrote Ballad. I listened to Woe to the People of Order for the first time. It was Ms. Fish's version. I listened to Woe to the People of Order for the first time, sat down, and immediately wrote Ballad of the Lonely. Which is hilarious, and incredibly, and like, I wrote it down, and then I sent it to one of my music producer friends, and I said, what do you think of this? And he went, I don't think it's gonna be very popular. And I went, oh, really? You don't think it's gonna be good? And he went, no, I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think people are gonna like it. I don't think people are going to be very interested in it. I think that they're going to think that it's really boring. And so I don't think you should produce it. And I sat down and I went, okay. And I shelved the project until April, which was forever and a lifetime later, hilariously. Yes, God's above. It's working again. Logic Pro is being my bitch tonight. Excuse my French. But yeah, so, this person told me don't do it, and I said, okay, I'm not gonna do it, and I shelved the song, which was really stupid because everyone loves it, obviously. And I've gotten nothing but praise for it, and so everyone really likes Woe to the People of Order. Why am I getting the spinny wheel of doom once again? Come on, Logic, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go. But yeah, no, so I ended up getting I ended up getting told by someone that I trust, and I still trust, and I still consider them a friend, that I shouldn't do ballad. But anyways, so I ended up producing it and I ended up putting it out, and everybody was like, "Oh, I'd love to hear this with Woe to the People of Order," and I was like, "I don't do covers." And then I sat down and I started singing it, and I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do a cover, but I'm gonna do it my way." And so, in true Furno fashion, I ended up blending like 7 different songs together. And I'm still working on it. I'm going to show it off at the 100K viewing party of ballads. So tune in for that if you want Woe to the People of Order snippets. But anyways, yeah, you didn't listen to Arla Manberg over 4,000 times, Amphi. Oh my god. But anyways, so I'm going to go back to mixing now. I will pop in periodically looking to see if I've got anything that I need to answer. So if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I apparently love talking, especially when I get the spinny wheel of doom. Furno isn't bitter about that. I'm not bitter about anything. What am I bitter about? I'm bitter about the spinny wheel of doom. I'm not bitter about anything else, I promise. I need to re-record that. Okay. So breaking down this song, I feel like doing a breakdown today. Because most of this is actually mixed already. This was mostly just, I'm getting my feet back under me. How do I stream again? Kind of deal. So, this is a guitar track, actually. It doesn't look like a guitar track because it's not actually recorded. Normally I would record my guitars. I didn't record this time because I was partially lazy and also partially because I don't have the skill to play the line that I needed to play. So, actually, it'd be easier if I can just boop, squiddly boop. What I'm doing right now is I'm looping the track, essentially, which is an awesome little technique that makes it easier to start and stop in places where I need them to start and stop. Okay. So this is the guitar. It's a pretty basic guitar line. Bum, bum, bada, bum, bum, bada, bum, bum, which is actually a hallmark in my songs. If you listen to Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me, it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Ballad of, or not ballad. Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me, or DWFM. Let's just call it Don't Look Back. It has the same pattern. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. I picked that rhythm. It's one of my favorite rhythms to sing. It's one of my favorite rhythms to play. And then this is straight eighths. But it's still got the 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. Still has the emphasis on that 1 2 3 1 2 3. I like that rhythm because it's a driving rhythm. It's a 4/4 pattern. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. It still fits there, but then you break down the 1 2 3 4 into 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. So it gives 4/4 rather than a marching pattern, because 4/4 is march. 2 3 4 hop, 2 3 4 hop, 2 3 4. Like, it's a marching pattern, but you're making it interesting, and it doesn't have to be a march in its entirety, which is what I really like about it. And it's what I really like about that kind of pattern. In Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me, the guitar does ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-ba-da-da, and the violins at the end go. So it's a recurring theme. It's a recurring motif in my songs. Next time you listen to Nowhere Kids, see if you can find it. It's hidden in there, but it's in there. So that's the guitar line. There is one moment where it gets a little bit different. For the most part, I'm switching back and forth between a muted strum and an open strum. There are differences. Muted is less noise, less resonance. This is a fully resonant guitar sound. And then you have, which is different. This is like fully open. This is just straight eights. And I really like this for that middle section because it needed something different. And then you have the stop, boom. And then it keeps going. Okay, so that's guitar. I'm gonna skip the vocals for a second. Go down here to the drums. So everything in this song is built, actually no, that's not what comes in next. What comes in next is the gliss chords. So every time I build a song, I like building through my songs. I like harmonically changing things. I like harmonically growing things. So you have this guitar line, bump, 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 which is awesome. And then, there we go. Bump, bump, bump. This is a piano line. It's basically block chords, and then there's some moments that are actually like tune. The instrument that's currently playing this is a synth, but it's a synth organ. I specifically wanted organ for it because organ made sense to me, so I call them gliss chords. It's my first time actually using them, and I really like it. And they show up throughout the song. They only show up during the verses though, because I like them there better than I do like them in the chorus. And I'm going to check. Be watching, but yell at me if I say anything. I have physics to work on. Okay, going back to what I'm working on. So we have all of these, and then we add in the gliss chords here, or not here, but like in about here. Where's the guitar? Oh, that's where okay, so the guitar is gonna take a hot second to come back. There we go. The next thing that comes in is drums. Now, normally I would emphasize drums more. I'm a huge drum person. I love drums. Drums are like the love of my life. I will program with them. I will play with them. I will have funky fun time with them. I love drums. Rhythm for me is the heart and soul of a song. So if I'm ever going to work on something, I'm gonna build the drum track before I build anything else, which sounds really crazy. But the reason why I do that is because it gives me an accurate feel for what the rhythms are gonna be. So this drum track is one that I built. It's pretty variable, actually. So, hang on. So you've got the fill and then in. So this is kind of like a lo-fi kind of feel. It's nice. It's not in your face, which is restraint. That's the opening of the song. And then you have, this is the chorus. Hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl, and all the faces in the crowd telling me to stop being so loud. But you can't hold me now, 'cause I am just too proud to settle down. And then we go back to having that restraintness, right? Conflict, you can walk all over me so long as everyone is happy. It's awesome. The next time we see drums come in and where it changes is here. This is the final kind of big one, and then we have the loudest that it's gonna get. And this is where we add in claps. I really like claps in my music. Like, there's people who are like, oh, but claps are so stupid. I like claps in my music. They give it a folky kind of funky feel. It's like Greatest Showman and We Will Come Back Home. So here, again, restraint, and you've got the clapping in the background. Dun, bun, 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 bun. And then we come back in. I love what I do. I will happily sit here and explain away every single thing that I'm talking about because I genuinely do like really love it. So the next thing that we've got is we've actually got a series of instruments that come in during the chorus. The first one is actually, it's a synth. I call it the mandolin because it sounds like a mandolin to me. And And that's because I created it to sound that way. This is a synth that I created myself. What a synth is a quote unquote synthesized sound. Technically, all of these are synthesized or sampled sounds that are all put together. But specifically, synths are ones that you create on your own. So you take a tone and then you modify it to make it sound like what you want it to. So I'm just going to solo this really quick, actually. No, actually. You can hear it pretty decently well without it. Like, to me, that sounds like a mandolin, personally. I really like that sound. And then we come back to here. And that same progression is going to happen throughout the piece. Nothing really changes there. The next thing that I'm going to pull out, actually, is the bass guitar. So this is a synth bass. 23. You should be able to hear that. And now I'm going to take it back down. Yeah, so that's always one of my favorite things to do. I love messing with bass sounds. I genuinely find them fun. I know people who do not agree with me on that. Okay, so next thing that I'm going to talk about a little bit is I'm going to talk about these organ chords. These organ chords are actually different from the gliss chords. And you can even see it like physically. You've got like the long gliss chords and then you've got the short stuff. The short stuff here is actually a series of major chords that go down in a progression. And what I really like about them is that they brighten everything up, but they still give you that sense of padding that the guitar doesn't give you. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Hang on. Like, that just sounds cool. I really like the sound of that. Yeah, I'm a one for conflict. You can walk all over me so long as everyone is happy. And I can't pretend I'm free, 'cause that's the way I tend to live. Think everything is fine. But honestly, I'm just so scared. I'm fucking up my life. This is the funny part about all this. And right in the song. Oh, wait, that shouldn't be there. What is that? I have no idea what that is. Funnily enough. I'm gonna delete that. That shouldn't have been there. So this is an electric piano that I really like. I really like the... I really like that. It sounds like a fairy tale. And then we have this little line. It's adapted from a flute line. I ended up changing like quite a bit of it. But originally it was written for flute, and I took it and I repurposed it. And I really like that. It gives it like a music box, jukebox kind of feel. So it's really fun, and it's really funky, and it's really different, interesting. So I really like the piano. Like, I like the organ sounds, but I like the piano even more because it just gives me that like youthful, young vibe, which is right in a sense. I am young. I am youthful, and Settle is a song about rebellion. It's about, you know, standing on your own for the first time in your life and doing what you want. And that's a really hard. That's something that I found really hard, especially this summer. This summer was one of those summers I wasn't doing well mentally, so I wrote this at like 4 o'clock in the morning, like trying to figure out why I felt wrong. And so, hang on. The last thing, or actually no, there's a couple other things that I want to do. There's this next. It's another flute line, but it's a different flute line than the one that I just showed you. I really like that one, personally. And the reason why I ended up having that second piano line in there is because it balances out the other piano line. So the other piano line is awesome, but I feel like at times it just doesn't feel like it's balanced. And on this last one, you want it to feel balanced. The rest of it, it can feel as unbalanced as you want. But it needed that. I think we've gone through all of the major stuff. We have. Okay, so breaking down the ending. Endings are always harmonically different. Like that's just a rule. You want to build to something. That's part of the reason why at the end of Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me, there's that section of light the match, set it off, hold the world in your hands, fake a smile. Like you've got that comes in, you've got that. This is the Manberg. You've got this back and forth on top of just run, don't wait for me. You've got these back and forth moments and this chorus in the background, and it builds. It's the same thing with Arla Manberg at the end. You've got all of these different voices. Your ending has to be harmonically different. So these are all actually violin tracks. And if you look very carefully, they look really similar to the mandolin track. And the reason why they look pretty similar to the mandolin track is because I took the mandolin track, broke it down into separate parts, and then assigned a different violin to each of them because the violin was like literally glitching out trying to play the entire thing. So there's 4 different violins I'll play. Create a folder stack. That works. So what I just did there was I basically shoved them all into their old folder. That's the violins. They're not super prevalent, but I didn't want them to be. I wanted them to be kind of quiet. I deliberately chose it to be that way. I like it that way. Then you have these. So that's trumpets. And then that's another violin. I'm gonna pull this back down now. Let's see here. Yeah. So that's breaking all of that down instrumentally. Now I'm about to break them down vocally, and vocals are an entirely different monster. And when I say vocals are an entirely different monster, I really do mean vocals are an entirely different monster. Vocals for me have a lot of different ideas, a lot of different avenues. They function differently for me than they do most other people. For most other people, they act as accents, they add as different ideas, they add as melodic lines, and that's totally fine. But for me, they act as harmonies, and they act as really important things. Aw, I'm sorry you can't stay long, but it's awesome to have you. Thank you for coming. Can I call you Rubithus? Ruby? I'll call you Ruby, I guess, in my brain. Hi. So for me, whenever I'm looking at vocals, I build them harmonically first. I'll record a standard vocal, and then I'll record something on top of that, and then I'll record something below that, and then I record anything else that I need that's in between. And so let's just take a listen, yeah? I deliberately chose for this opening to be pretty subdued. Because I wanted it to be. I've been bent on war. This is your main melody, right? This is standard, what you need. Next thing that I did was I added in lower harmony. 1, 2, 3.
I've sat inside my room, marking up the walls, a silent tally of
Actually, no, this is a higher harmony. I'm a dummy. I can't remember what I recorded. This is fun.
Come and save me from this hell, 'cause fairy tales unreal and I don't got a wishing well. The thing about wishes, they're just another avenue to put off actually doing something about this world I'm walking through. Or am I really even walking, or am I stumbling and sleep talking? 'Cause the words keep falling out and I just wanna scream and shout. Standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep
So
telling
you
me
have
to roll
these,
and
right?
roll.
And these are standard harmonies. Those are what everybody's, or these are like what you generally have. You have the upper, you have the lower, you have the mids. And that's totally fine. But then I decided to go extra. And I'm just going to turn all of these off really fast. And I have my reasons. Because I'm going to break down what I did here harmonically. So you've got
Words keep falling out and I just wanna
these.
scream and shout.
So you have that. And then you have these two. That's a third. So I took that harmony and I took it a third above. And then you have down here.
Wanna scream and shout.
So you can't hear what that note is at the bottom, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's there and you can hear it in the background. You just can't, unless you're like really listening for it, you can't hear it. Or well, you can, but it's hard to focus on. But it still adds to the overall harmonic structure. So that note is so we've got so that's just an octave down. And then the fifth of the chord is actually in the main chorus, but there's two more little pieces at the very bottom of this, and they are the most important pieces in this entire chorus, and here's why.
Wanna scream and shout.
So you can't hear it very well, but I'm about to raise this so you can. This one, I'm gonna raise this one, and I'm gonna raise this one. So now you can hear this a little bit better. Hang on.
Words keep falling out and I just wanna scream and shout.
So you might be wondering, why are there just these two little tails at the end? The reason why they're there is because they're a suspension. So suspensions are really important concepts in music. Suspensions are essentially where you take a note within a chord or triad, and you extend it you extend it longer than the rest of the triad. So say I have an A major scale, or an A major triad, so that's A, C, E. So then I take the A, C, E, and I decide, you know what, I really like that E a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the E over into the next chord, even though that chord doesn't have an E in it. So my next chord's going to be, let's say, E, C, E. Just for, this is incredibly wrong music theory, but whatever. Let's say the next chord has A, B, C, D, no, A, B, C, D, D, F, A. D, F, A, and then you have a C in there. All right, and then you have an E in there. Now, E is not in the triad of D major. D major is D, F sharp, and A. There's no E in there. In fact, the E is going to clash against the D. But that's okay. And the reason why that's okay is because then we resolve it down. So a suspension and a resolution is essentially when you take a chord, or a note that's within a chord, that's not within the chord, and then you take that note down so that it resolves into the chord. So you have D, F sharp, A, and there's this E in there, but there's no D, so it's really E, F sharp, A, and it's clashing like crazy. But then that E resolves down a half step into D, and so when it resolves a half step down into D, the D is finally, quote unquote, tonicized. And essentially what that means is the D is finally kind of like reached. And so it creates this feeling of you're on edge and you're sitting there waiting for the next chord to come, and then it finally comes and you go, oh, that's so nice. So you have these building of chords that are repeating over and over again. They repeat 4 times. And so to give you this feeling of something's gonna happen, what I do is I added in a suspension in there to give it that, oh, that feels really good. And then it all works together with the chorus to create something pretty cool. So I'm going to unmute all of these.
Wanna scream and shout, so I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls, even as hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl, and all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud, but you can't hold me now, 'cause I am just too proud to settle down.
But the best part is, they're all so in the background that they don't overpower the main vocals. So when I play them properly, and I'm not a doofus,
Wanna scream and shout, so I'll keep standing on my own, shouting rebellion at the walls,
they don't overpower.
Hurricanes and masquerades keep telling me to crawl, and all the faces in the crowd tell me to stop being so loud, but you can't hold me now, 'cause I am just too proud to settle down. Yeah, I'm the one for conflict, you can walk all over me.
So yeah, last thing I probably want to do is I probably want to break down this last section. Now, my vocals here are trash. And the reason why is because my voice was shot when I was doing this, but I needed to get it out. You're gonna like this section, I think. It's very Ferno-y.
Just too proud, I've been a nowhere kid, I've been soft for too long, somewhere in the burning walls without a sound at all, just too corner, too afraid to speak out, but here I am and I'm not lonely, so it's time to strike out. So I'll keep
So, if you don't know, I've written a bunch of different songs. And so this is kind of the evolution of my music right here. I've been a nowhere kid. I've been soft for too long. Somewhere in the burning walls of don't look backs and ballads halls, I've curled myself into a corner too afraid to speak out, but here I am and I'm not leaving, blah, blah, blah. And so you've got... So basically what I did was all of the different songs that were mentioned, Nowhere Kid, Soft Boy, Ballad, and Don't Look Back, Don't Wait For Me. You have all of them featured in the song, which is something that I really like. I still have to record a couple of more harmonies for this middle, and I have to re-record the main top part. But all of those are staying, because it's me. I have to nod to myself. Yeah, so, wow. Sorry, I'm looking at chat. I haven't looked at chat in a hot second. But yeah, so, one of my friends actually recommended for the video. I don't know how to do it, and I need to talk to Dragon, because Dragon might have a better idea. But my friend Sync, who is also one of my beta readers, I write fan fiction on the side. Fun fact. One of my betas, Sync, listen to this because they're a huge music fan, and I give them snippets sometimes as payment for being a beta. And it's like, you should do like a timeline thing of like yourself on the timeline, and then branches of all of your different songs and your evolution of your time in the fandom, which isn't coming to an end. I'm going to say that right now. I'm still writing for the fandom. I'm still doing all sorts of things. So I don't think I'm ever gonna leave, or I don't think for a little while. I think I don't know. if I'm gonna, how long I'm gonna stick around. I'm still writing. I actually have a Wilbur song based off of the last lore stream that I'm currently working on right now. That's called "What Does It Mean to Love." Um, so I've got that one. And I've got a part 2 to Arla Manberg that I may finish one day. I've got that. I'm still working on Poet Song. I have a Tommy ballad, I have a Tommy and a Wilbur ballad both in production. Um, I have both of those in production right now. One of them is called Ballad of the Poet. It's Wilbur's song, and the other one is called Theseus, and it's a sea shanty-esque kind of deal. But it's within the same universe slash same kind of deal as what Ballad of the Lonely or Woe to the People of Order or something like that are gonna do. Hang on, let me check chat. I don't understand music theory and I'm in my 6th year of orchestra. I didn't understand music theory properly until high school. And that was like my senior year when I finally took AP Music Theory 3 and my brain died when we got to figured bass. Kevin Johnson, that's amazing. Is high school chorus good? I need to know because I start next year. I'm going to say this right now. High school choruses vary wildly in what they do and in how they work. Choral programs across the United States are entirely different. You can be, even within the same city. My high school choir was about 100 people, a little bit over. And honestly, it wasn't very good. I'm just going to say that right now. Created some really bad, it was a really bad environment because when you've got over 100 students and you're trying to teach to all of those 100 students, you know, you're always, somebody's going to slip through the cracks. You're going to have people who are too good to be in the room, which is what happened with my high school. There were about 30 people who were incredible musicians and were fantastic people and could do pretty much just about anything you asked of them. And then you had about 30 people on the bottom rung who were all people who were seriously struggling trying to keep up. And then you had this middle section of people who were pretty good if they wanted to work at it, but they didn't want to work at it. And so all the people who were in the top part of it would get really bored, and all the people in the bottom part would feel like they're being looked down upon. And then you have all the people in the middle who are also bored, who are watching all of the people who are in the top goof off, so they decide to goof off too. So, like, I came from a decently good choral program, but even those, you know, cause issues. It depends on the choir, it depends on the director, it depends on the practices. I've met some incredible high school choral directors, and I've met some very ineffective ones. And I've met some that have literally been thrown into the room for the first time teaching choir, and it's like their first job as a music teacher, and they're a band guy. I actually did a practicum last year with a poor guy whose main instrument is trombone. And you can tell that his main instrument is trombone. And he doesn't conduct choirs very well because he doesn't know choirs. He wasn't trained in choir. He wasn't trained in choral singing. He's an incredible musician and an incredible person, and I loved working with him. I loved learning from him. But at the same time, like, he didn't know what he was doing. Like I said, it just depends. Hi, Dark Wisp YouTube. Hello, I'm new and I'm a sub. That's awesome. Thank you for subbing. I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I forgot how much I loved streaming, even if I am just being a nerd on stream, which I feel like not everyone appreciates, but it's what I do. I'm an educator at heart. I'm going to be getting my doctorate in music education one day. So it really shouldn't shock anyone that I like talking. I like teaching. So yeah. Anyways, so that is subtle. Oh my gosh. It's actually really close to being done. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the video. Nerdferno, our beloved. Thank you, Amphi. I love you too. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the video yet. I don't know if I want to do art. I don't know if I want to do an animation. I don't know if I want to... I still have to talk to Dragon, but Dragon's working on a techno tribute that has been in production for months, but then I had to go home. And so I didn't have access to my computer, so the audio couldn't get done, and people had been emailing me things and sending me things, and I hadn't been able to get them to Dragon, and so that was a mess. But we do have a techno tribute coming soon. There's Woe to the People of Order that's on the way. Poet Song, I'd say, is about halfway done. I'm doing it a lot more healthily than I did Ballad. So Poet Song, which is Wilbur's ballad, is coming soon. Theseus, I've gotten the chorus, which is the main part. The main part of a ballad, you gotta have a good chorus. That's why Woe to the People of Order works so well. So it's got that, then came a cry from a man that I've known. Like, you've got that, oh, woe to thee, ye people of order, I hope your homes can. Like, that's iconic. Ancient one, lonely one, come rest your head, I'll hold you. Like, the thing about a folk song is that it's gotta have a good chorus. And so it took me forever. Wilbur's song came along pretty quickly. Like that one, it goes, oh poet, please play us around. Lose yourself in the holy sound. Send on the wind your words unsaid. For poets' words are challengement. So you've got a good chorus there. But what really killed me were the verses, because that was hard. Tommy's song is called Theseus, and so it has the chorus, which is the hardest part. It's a sea shanty-ish type deal. It goes, so Theseus, sail through the storm. No, that's not how it goes. Theseus, sail through the storm. Hold off your demons, they'll haunt you no more. Theseus, find your way home. No more shall you wander, no more shall you roam. So you have Theseus, which is gonna be interesting. I have to figure out, I haven't yet, how the hell am I gonna do the verses for that? Because let me tell you a secret. Woe to the People of Order contains 13 major plot points in Techno's life on the SMP. Ballad contains 8 total plot points for Phil. That's pre-SMP, that's during the SMP, and that's all the way up to Doomsday. Wilbur's has 23 major plot points, all wrapped up into one song. Tommy's, I think I calculated it out, is going to be at 48. So I'm actually gonna probably have to break Tommy's up into 2. Which could be bad. Dark Wisp YouTube, what is the program you use to make music? I use Logic Pro. I like Logic Pro a lot. I think when it's not giving me the spinny pinwheel of death, as I like to call it, it's doing pretty well. I can do a lot with it. I can there's all sorts of different programs. There's lots of compatibility with it. I like it a lot because it's so easy. Yes, do your homework. The teacher in me is upsetty spaghetti with you. But yeah, so, what was I saying? Yes, so I like Logic. It's one of the most easy to use. It comes with a lot of really great, things to help give you like a boost. You have a lot of pre-done synths. You have a lot of access to some really great synths. There's one called Alchemy, which is awesome. I love Alchemy. It's what I use to build all of the synth pads and organs and piano sounds that you hear in Settle. And so I really like that one. That one's a really good one. So it's really good. And on top of it, I can use it with Serum. I can use it with pretty much just about everything. Cammy, do your homework. I don't have any homework yet. Ha! Actually, no, I do have homework. I have a senior recital. I have a senior recital to prep for. But the issue with that is I've already done everything. So yeah, I like Logic. Welcome, AMAX Studios. Good to see you here. Welcome to the party. But yeah, so that's Settle. I feel like this one's gonna go really quickly. It's just gonna be figuring out what the heck I'm gonna do for the video. There's a lot of Furno content coming your way. I know that the summer's been kind of, there's been no Furno content, and I promise you there's good reason for that. I had to go home. But expect to see some big things soon, and I'm gonna be doing a ballad breakdown stream. Part of this was basically like I'm going to make sure I can figure out how to stream again kind of deal. So look out for a Ballad of the Lonely breakdown stream where I'm going to go through how did I build Ballad? How did I make it? How did I put everything together? And hopefully you guys enjoy that. It's gonna be a lot. I promise you. There's 108 tracks on Ballad, roughly. I think there's actually more than that. But I'm really excited to break it down. And yeah, there's always Ferno content in the Discord. Amphi, my beloved mod, can you put the Discord link in chat, please? Come join the Discord. Y'all, come along. Come join me. It's awesome. I'm excited about the server. We've got a lovely community. Amphi is one of my mods. You've seen Bo and Dragon pop up here and there. They're part of my mod team as well. They're part of what I call the gender neutral dream team. And there's a reason for that. Thank you, Amphi. Please do come join us over on the Discord server. I promise you guys would absolutely have fun. I do all sorts of crazy events. I drop lots of content. I drop lots of really cool things. You guys get sneak peeks if you're there. You get writing sneak peeks if you like. There's all sorts of crazy different things that I do. You also just get random updates on my life. I'm pretty active there. I talk a lot. And I try and treat everybody like it's home. Oh, you are balloonsing and not homeworking. Yay! Welcome to the Discord. Do you draw pictures in your videos or are they commissions? They are commissions. I am not an artist. I have dysgraphia, which means that my brain sends pulses to my hands to do things, but my hands don't respond very quickly. And so essentially whenever I write or whenever I draw or something like that, I can't write or draw stably, and I can't do it very well. Which is incredibly unfortunate if you want to be an artist. So I've tried picking up art. I've tried doing art for myself, and I can't. So I do commission. I do commission lots of people. I've commissioned some famous artists that you know. I've commissioned some smaller artists that you don't know. One that I've commissioned quite a bit is Cryrosaur. They're awesome. They are an incredible animator. They did Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for me. They did Arla Manberg. They're doing a couple of other things for me. They actually did the main art for the Techno tribute. Amphithere Rose is one of my mods, but also has done art for me before. Amphi did the concept art and the album art for Songs from Nowhere, my first real album. They did that, and they did an incredible job of it, and they're doing the artwork for Woe to the People of Order, and it's going to be really cool. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I trust Amphi to make it absolutely incredible. Another one that you'll see pretty prominently is Day Sage Doodles. Day is actually my girlfriend. We started dating before, or we started dating after we started working together. But she did the art for Ballad of the Lonely. She did the art for My Son, My Song. And she'll be doing the art for Poet Song. Oh yeah, Amphi also did Don't. I'm sorry, dude. I totally forgot. Yes, Amphi also did Don't Look Back, Don't Wait for Me's album cover as well. I remember that conversation. Yeah. So I commission a lot of artists, a lot of really great people. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna be able to work with Tododoki. I keep meaning to get back to them on that. There's somebody I'm doing a song for Third Life. There's somebody I'm commissioning for that. So no, I don't do any of my own art. I'm actually really proud to say that. I'd rather commission than do my own art, not gonna lie. I feel like commissioning people is awesome, and I think we should commission our artists to do more. And I'm lucky that I have the income and the means to do that. Some of it comes from my music, some of it comes from my actual work. I do work for a living. Even if I am a full-time student, I do have a job that's actually about to start back up again in 2 days. I have my first work-study meeting at the end of the week, and then of course I am, crazily enough, I'm monetized on YouTube now. Welcome to the crazy. I have no idea how I got there. think it was AMX Studios actually who asked me. They were like, "How did you get over 1,000 subs?" I was like, "No clue." Really good, hard work, really good friends, and lots of luck. So anyways, yeah. I don't think anybody else has any questions. I don't think I've seen any. But if you haven't done your homework, please go do your homework. I'm gonna start signing off every stream with "do your homework" because you need to do your homework, people. And so, love y'all. Thank you so much for showing up and being here for my scuffed and stupid stream, where I'm breaking down a song that probably not many people are going to be interested in, because it's not Dream SMP. So I'm fully expecting it to flop, but that's okay. And I'm really glad y'all came. I seriously am. Even with the spinny pinwheel of doom and everything else, I'm excited. It's good to get back into streaming. It's good to get back to doing what I love. And I'm really happy, I guess. Not I guess. I like being happy. Being happy is good. And I am very happy. I just, never thought I'd be at this point. Hi, PJ! That's fun. Yes, that's a lot of tracks. Don't judge me. But yeah, so thanks guys. I'm actually getting ready to head out. But I guess I will be made fun of because that's a lot of tracks. Bye y'all. Thank you. Excited to be back. Yes, I'm ready.